Hello children, after having gone through the VBT theory and finding out its limitation, now it's time to work out on the crystal field theory. A crystal field theory, that is the CFT. It is an electrostatic model. The main thing, it is electrostatic model which consider that the metal and ligand bond is purely ionic in nature. And how it is ionic in nature? That is, it is due to the electrostatic interaction between the metal ion and the ligand. Remembering the term ligand, which is capable of making a coordinate bond with the metal, central metal atom or ion. So ligands are treated as the point charges in case of anion. Anion, for example, Cl negative, OH negative, C2O4 2 negative. These are considered as the point charges or dipoles in case of neutral molecules. Neutral ligands are NH3, H2O, ethylene, diamine. These are the neutral molecules. Now, one thing that we have to remember from class 11th is that in class 11th, we have studied that all the 5d orbitals in an isolated gaseous metal atom or ion have the same energy, or we can say that they are degenerate in nature. So let us look on the structure of it also, how these d orbitals are present. XY, dxy, then d, yz, dzx, then dx square minus y square. It is on the axis, and dz square. For dz square, we used to draw a single lobe-like structure. Now this is dxy, dyz, dzx, or xz, dx square minus y square, and dz square. This is the z. So what the main thing we have found it, all these d are considered as degenerate or having the same energy. But this degeneracy is maintained only till the time when the ligand is having a symmetrical field around it. Symmetrical negative charge is there. But if there is presence of negative field, the degeneracy is maintained only till the time the spherical symmetrical field is there. But as soon as there is an attack of ligand, then the ligand may be anion or negative, whatever it is, then this symmetry gets disturbed. That is, it becomes asymmetrical. The cloud becomes asymmetrical, and this results in splitting of the d orbital. So the pattern of splitting of the d orbital depends upon the nature of the crystal field, octahedral, tetrahedral. So the nature of splitting is focused by the nature of the crystal field. So the thing arises now for the octahedral. We will study separately for octahedral and the tetrahedral entities. So let us take the points which are mainly considered during the octahedral. In case of octahedral coordination entity, there are the 6 ligands which are surrounding the metal atom or ion. The metal atom or ion is having the electrons in its d orbital. The ligands are also having the electrons. So what happens in this case? There arises a repulsion. And this repulsion is more when the metal d orbital is directed towards the ligand and when it is away from the ligand. So there is a difference in the nature also, that whether the ligands are on the axis in the same nature or it is not. So from the structure of dx square minus y square and dz square, we can see that in case of dx square minus y square and dz square, the orbitals are pointed towards the axis. You can see here, the orbitals are pointed along the axis. But it is not in the case of xy, yz and zx. The lobes are present, the orbitals are present in between the axis. So considering this point to be very important, the ligand is coming directly in front of the axis. It is directed towards the axis. So what happens that when the ligand is directed on the same nature as that of the axis of x square minus y square and dz square, then in that case the repulsion will be very high. Due to this higher repulsion, these two, that is x square, y square and dz square, are raised to higher energy. While the three, xy, yz and zx or xz, which are directed between the axis, we have seen just that these are directed between the axis. So in between the axis, these are present. So the repulsion, this case, will be lowered as compared to the previous one. So there is lowering, making it lowered in energy as compared to the average energy of the spherical crystal field. So why X, Y, Y, Z, ZX are having the lower energy? Because these orbitals are directed between the axes, while the ligand is approaching and pointing towards the axis of X square, Y square, and the Z square. So now the degeneracy of the d orbital is removed. It is broken into two parts. One is xy, yz, zx of d orbital, and the other is x square minus y square and dz square of the other part. And this is dxy, yz, zx is given a new term T2g, and the higher energy x square minus y square and dz square are considered the term Eg. It is represented by a sec. So now let us look at the diagram. This is the metal having the electron cloud and the ligand is approaching towards it. The symmetry is now disturbed and the degeneracy is broken out. So this is the part when it is degenerate, getting the energy, getting higher energy and getting excited. It breaks up into two parts, that is T2G. T2G actually is representing XY, YZ, ZX part, and EG, which is representing the dx square minus y square and dz square part. So this all depends on the ligand also, that which ligand is approaching towards it. This diagram is very important for the board exams also. Now, the other thing, the splitting of the degenerate levels due to presence of the ligands in a definite geometry is termed as crystal field splitting. This is known as crystal field splitting, octahedral case. And the energy separation, this is the energy separation. O represent the octahedral. The energy separation is represented by delta O. Since there are three orbitals x, y, y, z, z, x, as T2G, so the lower part is represented as 2 by 5 of delta O, and the upper part is represented as 3 by 5 of delta O. And this line is known as the barycenter. This line is represented as barycenter. So the crystal field splitting delta O depends upon the field produced by the ligand, that which ligand is approaching, and also on the charge on the metal line. Two main factors on which the splitting is going to be depend. The value of delta O, the magnitude of delta O depends is the nature of the ligand, the field produced by the ligand. It is strong, it is weak, and the charge present on the metal line. It is also very important. This line is also very important. Now, some ligands are able to produce the strong fields, while the others not. If it is a strong field ligand, then it is going to make the T2G and EG very far away from each other. They become very far away in presence of a strong field ligand. But if it is a weak field ligand, then EG and T2G are very close to each other, and we can fill the electron at the same time in both of these. But the main focus is on a strong field ligand, which is going to make T2G and EG very far away from each other. So some ligands are capable to produce the strong field, making T2G and EG far away from each other, while the weak one results in small splitting. So a series has been obtained keeping in mind that which is a strong field and which is a weak field ligand. So En, we can see that a number of things are there which are strong field ligand, and there are the other which are weak field ligands in nature. So we will see that these strong field and weak field ligands are responsible for the splitting of the d orbital. The T2G and EG parts are sorted out. Now this series is known as a spectrochemical series. This can come in a 1 mark defined part also. And these arrangement also helps in identifying the things, that whether the pairing should take place or not. Now a very important thing that occurs is, if I am having D1 electron and there is presence of T2G and EG, okay. So whether it is a weak field or a strong field, it doesn't matter, because since we are having only one electron, it is going to reside in T2G. The configuration is going to be T2G1 and EG0. If it would be D2, that is D is having 2 electron, and we are having T2G and EG again, the strong field and weak field is going to do nothing here, because the 2 electrons are going to reside in T2G. So the configuration becomes T2G2 EG0. If it is the case of D3, let us look if there are 3 electrons, it is a D3 type, then T2G and EG I have drawn. Now, in case of 3 electron, following the Hund's rule, again the 3 are going to reside in T2G and nothing in EG. So the configuration would become T2G3 EG0. But the problem arises when we are having the D4 electrons. Because now in this case, if it is a strong field ligand, that is, it is going to make T2G and EG far away from each other, then in that case, the pairing will take place. But if it is a weak field ligand, then the pairing would not take place. Then one by one, all the orbitals need to be filled. Let us see what happened in case of D4. In D4, the two possibilities that arise are, one is the case when T2G and EG are very far away from each other. Let us look at this. The T2G and EG are very far away from each other. So in that case, the 4 electrons need to be filled in only T2G because the difference in energy is very large. Delta O is very large. So in this case, the configuration becomes T2G4 and EG0, and the ligand is strong field ligand. Strong field ligand. It is going to make T2G and EG far away from each other. But if the other case arises, I am having T2G and EG both, which are very close to each other. That is, delta O is very small, and these are very close to each other. Delta O, that is the crystal field splitting energy, is very less. So in that case, what happened for T2G and EG? We will be filling the 4 electrons as 1, 2, 3, and 4 because the energy difference is very less. So in that case, the configuration become T2G3 and EG1. But this would only happen if the ligand is a weak field ligand, not able to make the T2G and EG far away from each other. So such type of questions are also asked, that strong field ligand would give D4 configuration in this manner or in this manner for weak field ligand. So let us have a look for it. So it all depends, the dependency on the relative magnitude of the crystal field splitting is highly considered, and it has been compared with the pairing energy. The pairing energy is the energy which is required for electron pairing in a single orbital. So if delta O is very small, then the configuration is going to be, if delta O is very small and we are having the 4 electrons, then in that case, the T2G is 3 and EG is 1. T2G 3 because they are very close to each other. So T2G and EG are going to be filled simultaneously 1, 2, 3 and 4 because delta O is very less. But if delta O is very large, then in that case, it is T2G4 and EG0, that is pairing would take place. So the one which is not making delta O very large, making it very small, is known as weak field ligand or high spin complex. The number of unpaired are very much. It is considered the high spin complex. But if the pairing is taking place, then obviously the chances of unpaired electron will be less. So it is going to be low spin complex, and the ligand must be a very strong field ligand which is making T2G and EG far away from each other. So this is about the crystal field splitting in case of the octahedral. And the main focus should be on this thing, that which ligand is given in the coordinate compound and what is the charge on the metal line. Now it is the time to see for the tetrahedral complex also, that is the crystal field splitting in tetrahedral coordination entities. In case of tetrahedral coordination entities, the d orbital splitting is inverted. What is the main focus of inverted, saying the inverted nature? So let us see the diagram here. The d orbital in case of the free ion. Now when the energy is provided, the average energy of the d orbital in a spherical crystal is raised, the degeneracy is removed, and now it is again splitted. But in this case, dx square minus y square and dz square is occupying the lower energy, and the dxy, yz, xz are occupying the higher energy. In this case, the difference between the lower and the higher part is represented by delta T for the tetrahedral. But we can also compare this delta T with that of delta O, which is very important to remember that delta T is equal to 4 by 9 of delta O. This relation has to be remembered, that the splitting in tetrahedral is equal to 4 by 9 of delta O. Now, after all of these things, there arise few problems with that of the crystal field theory that are considered as the limitation of crystal field theory. In case of crystal field theory, although it is very good in explaining the formation, the structure, the color, and magnetic property by color by DD transition, because the electrons get excited from lower D to higher D. Color and many other magnetic properties all are explained very well by the crystal field theory. But the main problem that arises is from the assumption that the ligands are point charges. It follows that the main thing that CFT follows is anionic ligand should exert the greater splitting effect. The anionic ligands, since they are negatively in charge, they should exert greater splitting effect. But when we have seen the spectrochemical series, in the beginning part of it, when we have seen the spectrochemical series, so students, you have find that the iodide, the bromide, they are negative anionic ligand, but they are considered in the last of the spectrochemical series, in the end of the spectrochemical series. So on one side, the crystal field is saying that the anionic ligands are going to produce a large effect, but on the other side, they are keeping the iodide and bromide at the lower end of the spectrochemical series. So this thing doesn't match with what the points are given. Now the second thing, it does not take into account the covalent character of bonding. As previously we used to say that there is a formation of a coordinate bond, but this theory says that there is purely an ionic character, the electrostatic model. So previously we used to say that the covalent bond is formed by the ligand towards the metal atom or ion. But this theory is based on the ionic electrostatic model. So with the limitation of the crystal field theory, there arise various other theories as the MOT, which was considered the other theory for it. So dear students, revise the crystal field theory for octahedral, tetrahedral, prepare the diagrams. Till then, stay safe and stay healthy.